This is Katie, co-host of Coffee with Keith and Katie. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Baxter Colburn, host of Verse of the Day here on Public House Media. Thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with that episode, I hope you'll come and check out my show, where I take one Bible verse every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I provide practical examples of what it can be in your life. We have guest speakers that join the program every Wednesday, and there's always something new to learn about your walk with Christ. You can stay up to date with Verse of the Day by subscribing on Apple Podcasts or on publichousemedia.org. Thanks again for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
You're listening to The Morning Uplift, the podcast that brings you motivation and encouragement to begin your week. I'm your host, Liz Colburn. Grab your coffee, begin getting ready for your day, and join me as we discuss what it means to find the beauty in your journey. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Morning Uplift. We are going to start this episode with some big news. My listenership began with only a few people. It traveled from there to reach a small group of people. Beyond there, it spread from state to state into listeners all over the country. And now, The Morning Uplift is going international. What a huge honor for my podcast to be chosen because they believe in my mission and want my content to permeate throughout the world. I want to first start by saying thank you to God for allowing any of this to be possible. I am no one special. I just chose to show up every day and share my life lessons and my hot mess express moments with everyone. I'm someone that no one would have bet on, aspiring to help others each and every day grow in their life and faith walk. Secondly, thank you to my faithful listeners who have granted me the opportunity to walk through doors that have been opened because you first believed in me. You listen each week, and you share my podcast with others. You are all rock stars. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now, when preparing for the topic of today, comparison, I found myself, comparing. I should allow someone else to talk about this, is what I thought. So-and-so has more experience than I do with this topic. I won't articulate it like X, Y, Z, and then I stopped. That is completely not true. These lies we believe have severe impact on the way we perceive our own self-worth and identity. Women especially compare. We compare in little things and big things, but comparison is the thief of joy. No wonder we're all walking around stressed out, second-guessing, anxious, worldly people, and not as filled with joy as we could be. I don't know about you, but I can spend a lot of time comparing myself to others if I allow myself to. In preparing for this topic, I also found myself a little envious. This is going to sound really weird, but a little envious of those dogs that get to wear those little cones on their head. Okay, bear with me. You know what I'm talking about. They have those little cones usually when they have fleas or something that's wrong with them. Don't get hung up on that part, but picture that cone. They can't move their heads in all directions when they're wearing that cone. It's helpful because when we walk through life, we see it all, and our eyes can be a dangerous part of our bodies. We see so many visuals of what life should look like, right? I think we're all going to have to go after this podcast and invest in those cones just to take away that overwhelming stimulus of the world. I'm envious of those dogs. They don't have that. They can stay in their little cone. They don't have to look all around. Yes, it prevents them from doing natural things that their bodies want to do, but for us, it would keep us in our zone, and it would be a lot less overwhelming. Okay, so I'm actually not going to go walking down the road looking ridiculous in one of those, but I will promise that I will not laugh at you if I see you rocking one, because I think it's a fantastic idea, and you'll probably be a lot happier than all of us because you chose to do so. Anyways, end of tangent. Here's my tip to you. Don't allow comparison to be a time-sucking, health-compromising liar. Let me repeat that one more time. Don't allow comparison to be a time-sucking, health-compromising liar. And this is free for you today. Grow in your own understanding of who you are, how God crafted you, just how He intended you to be, and then own it, rock it, lead with it, and your tribe will find you. I promise. I'm learning more and more that I am just not everybody's cup of tea. You hear that saying, you're just not everybody's cup of tea. And I used to hate that. I'd get down on myself if someone didn't like me and let comparison creep in by saying, maybe if I was more like this, then they'd want to be around me more. Or it would swoop into my life like this. If I could just work even harder, then I could be where this person is. It can be life-sucking, friends, and you spend so much time wasted on those thoughts when they creep in. So today, I want you to look back at the journey and see just how far you've really come. Get real with yourself, and you may even want to pat yourself on the back. My goodness, I'm so eager to skip to the next step on the roadmap of life and hustle to finish my to-do list that I forget to pause and celebrate where I have been and where I am now. Are you like me? The only comparison we should have is comparing the old us to the new us and wanting the new us to get better each and every day. Put your blinders on. Society will try to convince you of the lies that you need to do, act, be, or think a certain way in order to feel good enough. No, sister. Let go of the fact that not everybody is going to like you, and you need to let go of the fact that it's going to take more time before you hit a certain goal you might be going for. You need to let go of that made-up idea of what success looks like and be comforted in how far you have come. The tribe you will find when you free yourself to just be you, and most importantly, fall in love with your true identity in Christ Jesus. Comparison is the thief of joy, and you are enough. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Morning Uplift on Public House Media. I've been your host, Liz Colburn. To stay up to date with the show, like the Morning Uplift on Facebook, subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app, or find my show along with many others on publichousemedia.org. My goal is to bring you relatable content and encouragement throughout another beautiful year. I want you to share my show with others you think need to hear it and have more conversation going via my email, lizcolburnbb@gmail.com, or via my brand new Instagram platform, The Morning Uplift. You are all amazing. Thank you for spending your morning growing with me. God's blessings on an amazing, purpose-filled week. See you next time as we continue finding the beauty in your journey.